Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, we got a great show today. I got one of my favorite things ever to cook. It's called Costoletta alla Valdostana. Now, this is from Italy, and I apologize. I'm not Italian, so my pronunciation might be a little off. But it's from the Valle d'Aosta region of Italy, which is in the northern parts, in the Alps. And in the Alps, dairy reigns king. So when you think Italy, you think olive oil, fish, fresh. Yeah, but when you get up into the north, it's a lot more cheese, dairy, cows. So today, the dish is veal cutlets. We're going to pound them thin. We're going to put some Fontina, a little prosciutto, put another cutlet, and then we're going to bread that up. And then we're going to fry that in, yeah, you guessed wrong. You guessed olive oil. We're going to fry that up in butter. Remember, dairy reigns king north. This is going to be delicious. And what I love about this dish, one of the best things, is it's such a blank slate. You can have so much fun with it. I'm going to do the traditional method, Fontina, prosciutto, veal, and just a plain bread coating. I like panko over breadcrumbs because you get a little bit of crispier. You can put spices in the panko, forget Fontina, maybe put a little bit of kimchi in the middle or whatever. You can have fun with this. This is a blank slate. I love that. Just remember, don't overshadow that veal. It's a little bit more of a subtle flavor. It's not like a big, beefy ribeye or porterhouse. A little bit more subtle, so don't overshadow that. You still want to be able to taste that veal. Let's gather our ingredients and let's get started. You're going to need about 4 3-ounce veal cutlets. You're also going to need some Fontina cheese. You're going to need a couple ounces, 2 ounces. Don't go overboard. I like shredding it myself. If it's pre-shredded Fontina, it's coated in cornstarch. Get that out of here. Miss me with that. I don't need any of that in my food. Prosciutto, you're going to need about 4 thin slices. We're also going to need 1.5 cups of panko, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 large eggs, butter, 8 tablespoons. So a stick, at least. Depending on the size of your pan, you might need a little bit more. Not good on the old hip. You need salt, and I'm going to do a little arugula. Just put this over with some lemon wedges. All right, now that we got our ingredients, let's get started. First things first, I'm going to shred my cheese, and I'm going to get my dipping station, breading station all set up. So I want about 2 ounces, which is about a quarter of this. There we go. All right, I got my Fontina, I got my prosciutto. I'm going to need half this amount of butter. All right, in my shallow dish, I'm going to crack my 2 eggs. I'm going to combine the eggs and the flour, and this is just makes it easy. Here we go, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of flour. Now in a second shallow dish, I'm adding my 1.5 cups of panko. And it's okay if you have a little extra. This isn't baking. Doesn't need to be absolutely 1.5 cup. Try not to waste any. Okay, now that we got that set up, now it's time for the fun part. Got our veal. We got to flatten it out a bit. So we got to beat it. Unfortunately, I don't have my meat mallet. I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to improvise, and you can too. You can use a rolling pin. You can use a meat weight. You can do a lot of different ways. Just make sure that you respect the food and you don't really mash it and really mess it all up. Take your time and do it right. I got one here. I'm going to try and essentially double its size. These are going to be big. All right, for my meat weight, I'm just going to pound it. Just going to beat it. All right, but you see how it's getting bigger? We're getting there. I still want a little thinner. I want it kind of like almost an 1/8 inch, but no tears. There's one. Just gonna set it aside. So you see the wet spot? See how much bigger it got? It's perfect. I want it about doubled in size. All right, so we're gonna make 2 big cutlets. These can be cut in half. This definitely does serve 4. So I am going to do about half the cheese. I'm just going to really spread it out. And you want to leave a little bit of a border here. All right, now I'm going to come in with my prosciutto. You don't want any overhang. Keep that border. All right, so about 2 slices of prosciutto in here. I'm going to take another one like this. This is the one that came in 2 different pieces. Here we go. We got one all set. Let's do our other. Perfect. Look at that. All right, this one's improvised, adapt, overcome. Now we're going to bread these up. And we're going to fry them in the butter. Just going to season up with a little salt, both sides. Start melting my butter. And I'm just going to dunk this in here. Move it straight into our panko. There's one. Oh yeah. All right. So I'm going to fry them in medium heat. You don't want to burn your butter. Remember, butter can burn. You really don't want those off flavors. Here we go. All right, so I got this on medium heat. I might need to add a little bit more butter. I think I actually might. All right, when you're cooking it on medium heat, it's going to take about 3 to 5 minutes per side. Make sure that your heat is really on medium or even medium low. You don't want the butter to burn. That'll give you off flavors. Also, you want enough time for the meat to cook through and the cheese to melt in the middle. Remember, this is going to be tender, even if you overcook the veal because you pounded it thin. It's going to be hair thin. One's done. All right, my pan is getting a little hot, even on medium heat, so I've dropped it down. I don't want it smoking. All right, let's get into it and see what we got here. So again, this one piece will serve 2 people. The recipe kind of was developed as a way of stretching meat. It turns a 6-ounce portion of meat to serve 2 people. Typically, you alone would eat 6 to 8 ounces of meat. So this is just a way of stretching it. All right. Now, this is why you want about 5 minutes on each side. You really want to cook that meat through. Look at that. Look at that. Juicy, not overcooked. The prosciutto right there in the center, the melted Fontina. That is what we're looking for. It's nice and crisp. A nice little lemon wedge here. Pour the lemon. A little season of salt. All right, this is my favorite part. I gotta dig in. Just so tender. This is good. It is really rich. You get the Fontina, that salty prosciutto, which adds a little bit of porkiness to this beef, but it's all very subtle and it just builds and it's very, very like a round flavor. It's not flat. It's not one note. Oh, but the butter coming through. That's why you need this fresh lemon here and this arugula. Oh my gosh. This is fantastic. It's just so good. That Fontina really just kind of like helps meld everything together. Everything's working together. Everything's like related. They're all playing their own part. Butter, Fontina, veal, lemon freshens it up. Arugula, a nice little peppery freshness. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. It's so good. This is fantastic. And this is all you need. This was half of one. No, I'm a big guy. That's all I need. This right here, glass of wine, you've got yourself a meal. Oh, it's just so good. Thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate that. Remember, if you like what you see, drop a follow on Twitch. I'm also on YouTube. You can find me, Russell Cooks, all one word, on YouTube. I do YouTube Shorts. I do Instagram Reels. You can find me on Twitter. I got all my links down below. All right. Thanks all. Really appreciate it. Take care. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed this rendition of the Costoletta Alla Valdostana. Take care.